Hey guys, Ricardo and welcome to another Blog Tech Tips. So guys, today we'd like to look at what's new in the Samsung Galaxy S9 and S9 Plus. Now in case you're wondering, the Samsung Galaxy S9 was announced earlier this month, and of course pre-orders are now being taken. So in case you're wondering or thinking about getting the S9, which should be released on March 16 of this month, which is in a few days, I'm going to show you what's new. For example, here, this is the Samsung Galaxy S8, right? And of course, it's very similar to the S9. So in case you're wondering, what are some of the new features that makes the S9 superior to the S8? In this video, I'm just going to look at some of the changes that actually would make it worthy of upgrading. All right, so in case you're thinking of buying either device, all right, so straight out of the box, guys, I like to say that the S9 and the S8 are very similar, especially after you upgrade the software to Android Oreo, alright? And of course, I'm just going to look at starting with the design. Now the first thing you'll know, and I'll show you on screen, that has changed with the Samsung Galaxy S8 over the S9 would be the camera. Now on the older devices, you're going to realize that the Plus model as well as the normal model had the same camera setup. However, on the Plus, on the S9, you'll have two cameras, which is one a wide angle lens and a telephoto lens, right? And of course, you'll also notice a change, as I'm going to show you on screen, in the placement of the cameras. First of all, the flash and the heart rate sensor is placed to the right of the camera, and of course the fingerprint sensor is placed below the camera, all right? And that is the first major change that you'll see. And of course, there are three new colors that will come out for the S9 and S9 Plus. They are midnight black, lilac purple, and coral blue. And these are just fancy names for the colors of black, purple, and blue. Next up, guys, other than the design, you will have also changes in the audio. We'll have now stereo speakers, and you of course know that one of the main problems with the S8 was this down far end speaker that's placed at the bottom here that basically produce okay sound, but it was so easy to muffle the sound as soon as you'd actually get your fingers over the speakers, which happens quite a lot as soon as you're making calls, you're listening music. It was just too easy. And of course, there's now a new feature that's built into the speakers that's called Dolby Atmos. Of course, that will produce greater sound quality and so on. All right, now for those who are wondering what else has changed with the design of the device overall, if you're looking at the display is basically the same, and of course the look and feel overall is almost identical. But however, one of the greatest changes has taken place in the camera on the S9, and of course the S9's camera is going to feature on the back a 12 megapixel camera, and of course on the front there'll be a 8 megapixel camera. For the dual lens on the Plus models, the additional lens or telephoto lens will actually be a 12 megapixel. And the major part of the changes actually take place in the camera, or the most new features on the S9 actually was added to the camera. And of course, as I said, guys, the most interesting feature of the camera is the adjustable f-stop. And of course, you know, the lens is designed in such a way that the wider the lens, the more light it will actually let in. And of course, the narrower the lens, it's going to let less light in. And of course, the S9 Plus has a greater performance in low light conditions. In fact, Samsung claims that it has a 60% improvement in low light photography over the S8. And the f-stop of the lens is actually 2.4, and that will adjust all the way down to a 1.5 f-stop. And the f-stop just describes how the lens actually adjusts, just like your eyes, in various lighting conditions to let either more light in or less light in. All right, so basically the lens will be adjustable. And of course, just like on the shutter of some cameras where the lens can adjust, if you look at the lens of the S9, when it's switching between various f-stops to allow light in, you'll actually see the lens actually, the shutter actually adjusting, all right, which is a cool new feature that has never been featured as far as I know on any smartphone. Other cool features of the camera includes the ability to take slow motion pictures or very slow or fast slow motion photography, right, which is great because you'll be able to slow down shots of fast moving objects to create very interesting slow motion pictures. All right, so in those areas, if you will be able to shoot pictures of slow motion of 240 frames per second for 1080p video and 920 frames per second for 720p video, which is quite impressive considering this is just a phone or a smartphone camera. Also included is the ability to capture AR emojis, and AR emojis is basically a feature that allows your camera to create a virtual representation of yourself or animate your face. It can capture facial expressions and so on, which is very similar to Apple's version that allows you to capture an emoji that can capture your facial expressions, where you can record and send to friends and so on. The other improvements are in software, and of course we have videos on those. I'll link those on screen. So basically that's it for the major improvements of the S9 and S9 Plus over the S8. As to my thoughts, guys, I think that of course if you already have a S8, it would make no sense to upgrade to a S9 unless you really need it or you can actually justify the upgrade. All right, I think in those cases it's better to wait for the next version of the Samsung Galaxy, which would be basically the 10th iteration, or of course the one that comes directly after the 9, which will feature most improvements to us as users. If of course you have not upgraded, it would be okay to go ahead and get the S9. But of course the S8 is still a great phone, and there's very little difference between both models. I love my S8, especially now that it has been upgraded to Android 8.0 Oreo. Most of the features that are in the S9 are now on the S8. Alright, so basically I think that Samsung is doing a great job. I like what they're trying to do with the camera, with the adjustable f-stop, allowing more light in and allowing the lens to be adjusted. I also like the addition of the AR emojis and so on, and improvements in security and so on that's been added to the software. Overall, if you are a Samsung lover and you have been following up on their devices, I also like that they actually added additional features to incentivize those who would actually go for the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus. Before, many users complained that the Plus models offered very little except a larger screen over the normal model. Now of course you had to actually pay extra for that, but of course now they have actually included the dual lens, one which is a telephoto lens and the other which is a wide angle lens, right, along with other cool additions. Also beneath the surface of the phone there are hardware differences which basically speeds up things a little bit. All right, but basically overall, as I said, they are basically the same phones. All right, so guys, this is Ricardo just running through the features that has been added to the Samsung Galaxy S9 and S9 Plus. If you like this video outlining these changes, please go ahead and smash that like button. Also remember to subscribe and become a part of the notification squad, and remember to check out the website at www.blogtechtips.com. we have plenty of articles and tutorials over there just waiting for you guys to check out. Alright guys, Ricardo from Blog Tech Tips saying bye until next time. Bye.